With a 3-week break from now to the next race of the IndyCar season, I figured it's about high time we start reviewing these drivers' seasons. When I first thought about this mini-series, I figured one of the first topics I had to discuss was Alexander Rossi, and trying to figure out how this man went from a championship threat to a mid-pack driver. Today we discuss Alexander Rossi's 2021 season, and how I doubt his performance will change anytime soon. After a string of podiums towards the end of the season last year, as well as an overall win in this year's 24 Hours of Daytona, hype was extremely high for Rossi entering this season. The hype was so strong that I even predicted him to be in the championship fight, and even winning the championship.
Prediction number 14, Alex Rossi will win the championship.
Yeah, hype was really strong that Alex Rossi could make a comeback this year. What we've gone, however, is his worst season in IndyCar up to this point. Starting off the season, we went to Sweet Home, Alabama, specifically Barber Motorsports Park for the first round of the season, where Rossi would finish a slightly underwhelming 9th. St. Pete would be the next round, and at a track where Rossi has shown some great speed before, you'd expect him to finish well. He would finish 21st. 2 laps down after he crashed with Graham Rahal. In Rossi's defense, he was running 5th at the time, but this doesn't really check out, as his 8-year younger teammate Colin Herta was cruising to a runaway victory. The doubleheader at Texas would see an 8th place finish in race 1, but race 2 would end prematurely when he was involved in his second start crash in less than a year. This would start off what is a terrible month of May in Rossi's book. He would finish 7th in the GMR Grand Prix, but that's not Rossi's strong suit. The Indy 500 is, and when he would fail to make it to the Fast 9, eyebrows were being raised. When the race came, car issues would cripple his race before even lap 50. Oh great, so his greatest chance of winning all season completely destroyed on the first pit stop. I should take this time now to say that most of this isn't entirely Rossi's fault, but when the team isn't struck by a falling anvil or shooting themselves in the foot, Rossi just isn't performing the way he would back in 2018 and 19. Mid-pack finishes are decent for a title fight when he done followed up with a DNF or a 20th place finish. Detroit would see Rossi finish 7th and 13th respectively. Road America, the site of Rossi's last win. He was certainly a favorite driver entering the weekend, but another 7th place finish would follow. Mid-Ohio is a great track for Alex Rossi, being one of the most fruitful in his career, but while 5th place finish would be disappointing, compared to his season up to this point, it was actually a bright spot. Entering the Olympics break, Rossi was 12th in the standings, and that's where he still stands right now. The Big Machine Coolers Grand Prix would see his best finish of the season, but he'd once again throw away any momentum at the window when he smacked the wall in Gateway, where he was pretty much handed a podium on a silver platter. Now onto the shores of the West Coast we go to round up the IndyCar season. If something doesn't change about his performance immediately, his 2021 season is on track to be the worst in his IndyCar career up to this point. Over the past 2 years, his results have regressed across every single statistical category. To put it into perspective, since the start of 2020, he has only led 85 laps, which is lower than his laps led total in his sophomore season in 2017. One of Alexander Rossi's best races is scheduled to happen at the end of this year, and if it does happen and results don't improve slightly, then I think we need to have a more thorough discussion. Andretti Autosport has regressed significantly, but unless Colin Herta is getting completely different equipment, this supposed dip in performance may just be a general decline for some of its drivers. This video will definitely be a good bookmark in the story of Alex Rossi's career. Whether this be a turning point to go back to his winning ways, or be the last of the good days, is something for our future selves to determine. Please leave a like if you're feeling generous, comment your thoughts in the comment storage system if you feel so inclined, and have a great afternoon.